Yeah, Live 25 TV, we are back with another video. And before we get into it though, I just want to shout out all the people that have subscribed to the channel. Massive shout out to you lot. Really appreciate the support. We're a brand new channel, but we're growing fast. And with your support, we're going to get there even quicker, people. So if you haven't subscribed already, really would appreciate it. It's nothing but love every time. And if you haven't, you know, maybe by the end of this video, you know, might encourage you to want to subscribe. If not, drop a like, drop a comment. It's all the same. It's all love, people. Anyway, without further ado, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you know what time it is already. Bounty Killer, Shabba Ranks. And it feels like a bit of a trend in music right now. Or is it a trend right now? I don't know. It's like when big artists collide, big egos are involved, and, you know, like people have differences of opinion, and it's how it goes. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You know, we gave an analysis a little while ago on the Sizzler and DJ Khaled situation, and you know, even if I do say so myself, we gave the best analysis on YouTube. We broke it down the best. The views went crazy. Like, so anyway, people, back to this. Let me set the context. Let me set the scene. So Damien Gon Marley recently put on the Jamrock Cruise, which is a regular showcase that he puts on, showcasing reggae and dancehall artists, old and new, for them to come and do their thing. Basically, Bounty Killer took to the stage, he shelled it, he shut it down, he done his thing, he smashed it, he killed it, and all that good stuff, yeah. But midway through his performance, he basically went on a bit of a rant, and he was talking about uplifting the people and putting positive messaging in your music. And it was a message that was deemed as aimed at new artists and up and coming artists, and etc, etc. And you know, as an OG, as a pioneer of the game, he felt like it's his responsibility to, you know, encourage a more positive sense of content in the music, basically. And it gets interesting because during the same festival, or during the Jamrock Cruise, Shabba Ranks done an interview after his performance, and he basically spoke to Bounty Killer and was kind of critical of his views. I'd encourage you to watch to the end of the video, because Bounty Killer's actually done a follow-up since Shabba Ranks' interview, and we're going to look at that. And I'm going to give my spin on things, you know, we're going to discuss it together. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
Salute to the manos, World Crew Production, Stalwart Dancehall Producer. All know I want level. Come from one day Jamaica move very, very stupid. Cause something when you hear people like Enda Smoya, I know we that to them. We don't walk and pick up nothing, you know, we don't fly by here and pitch by night to the people. And we are the toughest thing in our Caribbean. Level. Serious note this battle. And we are the strongest culture in the world. One little dot on the map, and everybody wants a bomb cloud. Blood cloud.
Facts.
One for them. So listen, Jamaica, it's either we are going to steal or we are going to kill. And we are going to be a dunce list. That's why some boy come and sing some dirty, nasty foolish. People have been excellent, educated, and smart level. Boy said if you want ITs and black people, put it in a book. That means that boy you celebrate, so they made us illiterate and dance. So we cannot stand up for that. Bullet. Come on, clown. Come on, we need to know if you know.
Alright, so first of all, why was the cameraman filming up into the sky when he started talking? It's like the whole performance, the camera was pointed at Bounty Killer. As soon as he starts spitting facts, the camera points up into the sky. That's some mad thing. Anyway, second point, I agree with everything he's saying. And you know what? He ain't really atting no one. It's a different thing if he was calling people by name, or he said, oh, all of the young artists are doing this and doing that. He never really said that when you check it. When you listen to it, he was talking about more about what we should do and what we should expect from ourselves rather than what you shouldn't do. He was like rallying everyone really in general to say, these are the expectations we should have of ourselves. We're not stupid, so we shouldn't act stupid or let other people treat us as stupid. I find it interesting. I'm surprised that Shabba Ranks went at him off the back of just this. Anyway, people, let's get into what Shabba had to say, and then we'll break it down. We'll deep dive into it after.
Anything that is not going to the regards of nature, you don't stand a chance with God Almighty. See me I deal with? So I and I youths them. I just want to unite, and me hear some big man in our music now. Where every turn them beat against the little youth them. And them fight against the little youth them. And them want to tell the little youth them what they must say.
So that's the part where I guess people are saying he's talking about Bounty Killer. Again, no one's name dropping, no one's atting anyone really. He just said a big artist is telling the young artists about themselves, but he doesn't directly say he's talking about Bounty Killer, but I guess everyone's putting two and two together based on the timing of it and saying he must be talking about Bounty Killer. But was there any issue between Shabba and Bounty before this? Because what Bounty Killer said just on its own in isolation didn't really seem that deep for Shabba to send shots at him or to even challenge him on what he was saying, because again, to me, it sounded like he was just trying to promote positivity and growth amongst the community at large from top to bottom. So was there any kind of prior situation? Like if you know of any prior situation, please let me know in the comments. But it feels as if it was a bit, a bit picky, a bit fickle to say just based on what Bounty said on stage that Shabba was gonna kind of take this stance of it. That's I don't know. Let's see what he says after this, but seems like he's being a bit dramatic still.
Them and them fight against the little youth them, and them want to tell the little youth them what they must say, and them want to tell the youth them what them to do. I want to make them know, you know. So when me did that do music, I said, so go on, I can do and control my mind state, you know. And look what I becomes in the face of the world. Because of...
That's what I'm saying. It's that thing again, innit, what I was talking about before. Young people are always going to rebel against the elders. So he's even saying here, if he had listened to what people told him when he started making music, he wouldn't be where he is today. So you have to kind of express yourself and do what you're doing as a young person. And I get that and I respect that. It's not, I was going to say it's human nature as a young person to be rebellious and if you tell them to not to do something, the first thing they're going to do is want to do it, right? But it's not human nature. It's not that. It's how we've been programmed from young. It's not inherent, It's how it's what we've been programmed by the school curriculum. It's what we've been programmed by mainstream media. It's what we've been programmed when we watch the TV or we go on the internet. It's not human nature, but it is learnt behavior. And because of that, the programming is hard to dismiss and hard to step away from. So I understand that young people are gonna go against the grain. It's like the birth of a lot of music, the birth of rock music, the birth of rap music. I want to say the birth of reggae music as well. These are all disruptive musics, where it's rebellious music. It's fight against the power. It's rebel against the system. That's where it comes from. And so that's human nature. If you're being controlled or being oppressed, you want to fight against that. And these forms of music, these genres of music have been the products of that. Where I'm saying it's not human nature is to rebel against your parents or people that have your best interest at heart, elders or what have you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's where the slight difference lies. But I understand what you're saying. You've got to let young people express themselves and find their own way to a degree still.
That's my music. So I'm saying that to say this. No. The distant that I use melodies are the words that he say on records is going to reach. So you can't go and I couldn't want to kill the youth them talent. Give the youth them a chance to the music. The youth them not have to do the music like, oh, we do the music. I feed them music. Come out of the youth them arena and leave the youth them, make them do their music. You see me I deal with? When me did I do my music, my mother used to say, Boogie, I got music, me I do. Because I never do the music like, oh, she used to listen to the music. But guess what? A 2 Grammy me get from the music. So give the youth them a chance to do their music. Leave the youth them alone and make them do their music.
Hey, by the way, complete side note, yeah. But Bounty Killer needs to mind out if it really is the situation, because Elias Shabba looks like he's been in the gym. It's like, I respect that. That's part of, you know what I mean? As you get older and you're trying to set an example to the youngers, like, look after yourself, man. Keep yourself in shape. Go gym, eat right. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, Bounty Killer better mind out for Shabba might punch him up, blood. He's looking like he's been pushing weights, bench press and all that, boy. Big up Shabba though, still.
Leave the youth them alone and make them do their music. Your time no pass, you know, but your time is your time. Now it's the youth them time. Let the youth them have fun in a for them future. And help guide them along in them future and stop criticize them. And beat them down. And fight against them. Because you know down there talking, you know. But gun this and gun that, you know. Me say I love the gun, but me never buy a gun yet. Me chat about gun, but me never buy a gun yet.
He's definitely chatting about Bounty Killer. So I wasn't sure before. I thought people were just speculating and hyping it. But what he said there is, I heard you down there on the stage talking about gun this and gun that. So he's obviously talking about Bounty Killer, innit? Like it's unanimous. So where I didn't want to speculate and antagonize a situation between two pioneers that didn't exist, boy, if he's saying it, then he said it, innit? He said what he said. So we're gonna have to talk about it now.
Long in them future and stop criticize them and beat them down and fight against them. Because you know down there talking, you know. But gun this and gun that, you know. Me say I love the gun, but me never buy a gun yet. Me chat about gun, but me never buy a gun yet. So you can't say a gun lyrics and a gun this. Me talk about pum pum and say me slack. And now what me I deal with? What me I deal with? Now if your man love a woman, well, when I fight against that now, and say if no man I go love man, fight against that, and so I go happen. What want to say? Shabba to the world!
Yeah, he went somewhere else with it at the end there. I don't think that was, but maybe, boy, yeah, he went somewhere. I think he was still talking about Bounty Killer still, but that bit at the end, I was with him. I was agreeing with everything that he was saying up until that bit at the end where we talked about, what do you say? I spoke about guns in my lyrics, but I haven't bought a gun yet. Brother, you've just completely unraveled your whole argument. You've just contradicted yourself fully, because in the first instance, you're saying the young artists should be allowed to express themselves because you don't know who's going to hear their music or what part of the world their music is going to reach. Yeah, that's true. But in the same sentence, in the same breath, you're saying you put gun music or gun lyrics in your music, but you're not a gunman. You don't live that lifestyle. So if that circulates around the world, it's connecting with people who either do live that lifestyle or are vulnerable to being influenced by that type of lifestyle. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you as Big Shabba Ranks talking about guns, but you ain't never bought a gun yet, as you said yourself. When young people or vulnerable people are listening to that, they feel, say, they're not in your position. They might not have no choice other than to say, right, well, Shabba Ranks said it's cool, so, you know what I mean? I look up to him, or look where he is, look at the money that he's got, the lifestyle he's living, his family are patterned, etc., etc. So I might have to do what he's saying he done. And it turns out, lo and behold, he's saying he never bought a gun yet. So it's completely contradictory. Yes, as a young person, you have to be able to express yourself. And if you're going through hardship, especially, talk up the things, innit? Say what you're saying. But you also, once you reach a certain level and you have a platform and you have a voice, you have a social responsibility, in my opinion, to give a balanced view of what's going on. And so he's just totally contradicting himself about, I talk about guns, but I ain't bought a gun yet. That's some foolishness. I can't support that. But let me say, everything he said up until that, I do support, because young people are going to be young people, innit? They're always going to want to do something different to the older generation. And I'm all for creativity, expression, art, and all the rest of it. But like I said, you need to find a balance, and you can't just... It's like, I have this conversation with my brethren all the time. what you put out, the power of the subconscious mind is real. The power of the subconscious mind and the power of words especially is real. Manifestation, like, I don't know, like, that's something I believe in personally, and I'm sure a lot of you do, like, understand that as well. But if you project certain energy, that's the energy that the universe is going to feed you back. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you're doing well as an artist and your music is touching all four corners of the globe, but it's negative, then that's going to come full circle and come back to you. That's what you're pushing out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But again, on the flip side, it's a techie one, because we know how the labels stay, and the labels are only going to put out music that is glamorizing violence and badness. You could put out a whole gospel album, for argument's sake, but are you going to sell enough money to get yourself out the hood? So it's a techie one, it's catch-22. So I do agree with what he's saying, but the last bit there made him seem like some kind of studio gangster. Didn't really connect, didn't really make no sense as far as Shabba ranks. But as far as Bounty Killer, he responded on IG. Like, again, he's not atting no one directly, but if you're putting all the pieces together and connecting the dots, it looks as if he's addressing Shabba ranks. So let's read together and see what he was saying. All right, so the first post he put up says, the Godzilla, the Messiah, the Architect, I reinvented this 2 times, 1992 and 2002, from Scare Them to Alliance. So no little old lame runaway back in the days guy can size up one general. NPT, NPT, I ain't going to say what that means, but if you know what that means, drop it in the comments and we'll talk about it. But I ain't going to repeat that. So, or else a funeral done chat to a dust. So basically, he's saying, he's basically giving himself the flowers and reminding everyone what his contribution to the scene from 1992 all till now has been. And the reason people are saying he must be talking about Shabba, again, he doesn't name drop him, but he said, it's quite funny still. He said, no little old lame runaway back in the days guy. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful, Shabba, but you ain't really put nothing out music-wise, that's connected since, in my book, like the 90s or something. That's when you had your run. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the way, and I know disrespect, you're probably still making bread off the music that you put out then. So, like, big up yourself, you get me? But when he says a back in the days guy, must kind of be Shabba he's talking about. And then he said, oh, little old lame runaway. And obviously Shabba moved to America. Like, so, boy, you know what I mean? You connect the dots, he's probably talking about that. But really, I don't know. It's disrespectful still. MPT. And he could, yeah. Anyway, let's read the next post that he put up after this, because he weren't just settling down. He weren't just settling for that. He went on a bit of a, boy, he was unloading the clip, because I don't think he was feeling what Shabba had to say. So let's get into the next one. Right. So he goes, take out your notepads, learn and adapt the formula. And then he hashtags Ninja Man, Tiger, Professor Nuts, and Papa San, to name a few. They made stage shows in Jamaica and I revolutionized. Again, he's giving himself the flowers, which is not, listen, talk up the things, man. If you done something and people are trying to cast doubt or shade on your name, then you got to remind them sometimes. That's just how it goes. Which show some P-word talking about, where are you? Post the clips. So and then let us see. I never left this for 3 months. Since I bust in 1992, I carried this on my back. MPT again. Boy. Yeah, Bounty Killer ain't happy, boy. He's not having it. Them are fighting words, but like I said, boy, Shabba's been in the gym, Bounty Killer, so you might have to mine out. Because a couple of the words you use in this post are fighting words, especially in Yard. So, boy, is what it is, isn't it? But again, he's just basically, look, he's shouting out the pioneers. And that's what basically, I think he's doubling down on his earlier message. He's not criticizing the youths necessarily. He's just saying he respected the people that come before him. And in order to move the culture forward, the youngers have to respect those that come before them. to carry on the culture and carry on the message. So he's shouting out people here and giving them their flowers, and I respect that. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? But he's basically saying, boy, when I was revolutionizing the dancehall scene, where were you, Shabba? You were nowhere to be seen. Like, if you done something for the culture, if you help the culture, if you bust any new artists or whatever, post the clip so we can see it for ourselves. Because I never left this for 3 months. And you know what? I've heard that a lot where people are saying Shabba never really went back and got anyone or bust no artists or really done too much for the culture off the back of his own success. Whereas Bounty Killer, we know for a fact, has over the years. So, boy, it's a bit of a techie one for Shabba Ranks still. And look, then he goes on to say, put respect on my 30 years of consecutive contributions and development to this culture and genre. Again, you can't really argue it. The track record speaks for itself. Sir Godzilla, that's the term, the stalwart, the pioneer, the legend, the innovator, the inventor, the general, the coach, the architect. Should I continue? So again, look, he's not saying nothing too wicked in this one. He's just saying, respect the thing. Like, I've been here for 30 years. When certain men have dipped out and just looked after themselves or whatnot, I've been here, like, supporting the thing, revolutionizing the thing, making sure that there's a pathway for young artists. So I guess by that token, he's almost earned the right to say how he wants the culture to be carried forward to a degree. So all in all, look, I'm gonna break it down like this. So I'm gonna summarize it like this, yeah. Who do I think's right in this situation? Is it Bounty Killer by telling the young youths that they need to pattern up and put more positive message and content in their music? Or is it Shabba Ranks who's saying, nah, let the young youths do their thing. That's how we got here. And that's just how the cycle goes. It's giving them an opportunity to better and improve them and their families' lives. So just don't take away their platform and their mouthpiece. So who do I think's right? Okay, you know what? I think they're both right. You can't argue with either one of them. They're both right. And it's not a clash. It's not a beef. It's not an argument. It's just two perspectives of the same thing. And you know what? It's coming from a place of love. If you're speaking and it's from the heart and it's from a place of love, it can never be wrong. Because watch this, Shabba might have some young youths or a family member or something that's trying to do this music thing, and he knows how it goes, and he knows that the labels won't put the music out unless they say certain things. He said it himself. He spoke about guns in his lyrics, but you don't use guns. So was that his decision, or is it what the label's telling him to do in order to sell a record? And you can't really argue with that. Everyone needs a chance. Although I will caveat that by saying I do think we have a social responsibility to say positive things, because the law of attraction says that if you put out negative things, negative's going to come back. So I do get that. By the same token, Bounty Killer's coming from a place of love. He's not trying to criticize. He's just trying to say, like, as a black culture, as a Jamaican culture, as a community, we just need to try to work together and do better to uplift and improve everybody. That's the only message I really took from him. I don't think he was really disrespecting anyone or trying to hurt anyone's pocket or anything like that. That's not what it sounded like to me. So he's coming from a place of love as well. So all in all, they're both right. And they need to iron out whatever difference they might have. I don't know, as I said, it might be something from before, but iron that out, squash it, it's dead. They were both big men. And they're both influential people within the culture. So that's it, man. That's my views on that anyway. So yeah, people, thanks for watching the video. If you've got a different point of view, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Please drop a like on the way out. It really does help the growth of the channel. And if you're feeling really generous, then subscribe if you haven't already, because, you know, we're going to be breaking this shit down more and more, delivering the content that people want. So without further ado, Live 25, we're out. Until the next time, people.